Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you to this highly anticipated webinar on the role of IoT in Industry 4 and evolution. I am thrilled and honored to be hosting this event today. I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Shanoli Ray, the founder of EDVISHAN, a globally recognized learning platform committed to empowering individuals with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in the digital age. We offer a wide range of training programs, webinars, and workshops that cover various aspects of technology, innovation, leadership, and more. In today's rapidly evolving world, Industry 4 has become a prominent driving force, transforming the way businesses operate and paving the way for unprecedented opportunities. At EDVISHAN, we understand the importance of staying ahead of the curve and embracing technological advancements such as the Internet of Things. Moreover, EdVision is dedicated to ensuring that these insights and knowledge are accessible to all. We believe in creating a culture of continuous learning and skill development, equipping individuals with the tools they need to succeed in their professional journeys. Our programs are carefully designed to empower learners with practical skills, industry insights, and the ability to adapt to the ever changing demands of the modern world. IoT has revolutionized the way industries function, enabling seamless connectivity, data exchange, and automation. Today, we have with us the very esteemed Vishram Bapat Sir, Director of the Incubator for Women Entrepreneurs as SNDT, Women's University, and a mentor at IIT Mumbai. Together, we aim to delve into the fascinating world of IoT and its significant impact on the industry. So, I invite you all to join us in this captivating webinar as we unravel the intricate relationship between IoT and Industry 4. Thank you for your presence, and I look forward to an engaging and enlightening session ahead. Let's welcome Vikrant Vapat sir on the show. Welcome, sir.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Dr. Shanoli. And I hope today seminar people will find it interesting. So I am going to keep it, the theme of the today's talk is going to be the evolution of IoT, that how did it all start? And because I don't know what is the kind of mix of the participants, whether it is technical people or they are non-technical general. So I am not going to go into too much technical. I am going to keep it simple to understand, and focus will be on how the IoT evolved and how did it lead to Industry 4 and what is the next thing going to happen. So this is going to be the theme. Is that okay? Does this sound good?
Yes, because we have participants from a varied
Yes,
background. So
I know
yes,
that.
the basic
That's
things,
why
if you explain.
we don't want to keep it too technical. That is what I thought.
Yes,
So, with your permission, I will start my presentation.
yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes.
let me see how it works. Okay, let's see screen. Okay, I don't know. Is that
Yes, it is visible. The PPT is visible.
visible? Okay. So I will make it full screen. Okay, let's show. Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay. So to start with, welcoming all the participants of the webinar. And today's topic is towards Industry 4 with IoT. So in today's session, we are going to discuss the evolution of IoT and how did it lead to Industry 4 and the ancient and modern heroes of this revolution. So first, let us understand what is Industry 4 and what is IoT. So Industry 1 was the mechanization and production using steam power. The steam engines were invented before Industry 1. There was no mechanized power, so people used to do everything with their hand. And the first industrial revolution was Industry 1, in which the steam engines were used. The next Industry 2 was when electric power was used, and I have given the timelines. So the Industry 4 used electrical power and production lines to in order to produce manufactured items. Then the Industry 3, it used automated production using computers and microprocessors and IT systems and robotics. This was Industry 3. This was 1950 onwards. I think if you know, there were CNC machines, numerical control machines, and all those things. And Industry 4. So Industry 4 is the era which we are living at present. So that era is called Industry 4, in which there is a smart factory and autonomous systems which run on their own. So highly, information technology is used in this kind of environment. And enabler for the Industry 4 is the Internet of Things. So understand the relation between Industry 4 and Internet of Things. Industry 4 is the present time in which we are living, and IoT is the enabler which makes this Industry 4 happen. Okay, so maybe it's maybe slightly complicated. We'll talk about the fourth industrial revolution. It's the ongoing automation of traditional manufacturing and industrial practices using large-scale machine-to-machine communication and the Internet of Things are integrated for increasing automation, provide improved communication and self-monitoring, and production of start machines that can analyze and diagnose issues without the need of human intervention. So this is the kind of production lines which are existing today, that the production line themselves know, they keep track of whatever is the raw material, and then raw materials are automatically ordered. The production line also is automatically monitored by the computers. So this is what is Industry 4 which we are living. uh, the Wikipedia definition of IoT, Internet of Things, it describes the network of physical objects that are embedded with software, sensors, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices and systems over the internet. So how is it different from what internet we are using? The internet which we are using, it is used by people. Like I am now talking to you through internet. So this is not Internet of Things, because in Internet of Things, it is always one item talking to another item without any human being involved. Okay. So I will, as we go further, I will give you examples of what is exactly this. But Internet of Things basically means that the two machines or two maybe equipment or whatever you may say, I'll give you some examples later on. They talk to each other using the internet, and human beings are not involved in this. So first industrial revolution I have just talked about. I don't want to go into details. First and second and third. Okay, we'll quickly browse through this. So what was it before Industry 1.0? As I said, Industry 1.0 was when the mechanized machines were used, steam engine power was used. Before that, all all manufacturing, everything was done without machines, with human beings, two hands. Okay, so the survival, how the survival started, the first thing in order to survive is the food. So food also, the human beings depended on whatever the earth is giving to them directly. So human beings used to go in search of food in the forests and pick up fruits and maybe even small insects, animals, whatever the nature gave, that is the only thing they ate. And that process was called foraging, that is searching for food. Then the next stage came when the human beings started doing farming. So it was not just that they started eating what is available, but they also started planting things and then growing the plants and producing. So this was the first step of what humans started producing. And in order to use the produce, uh, in the first stage, foraging may that whatever food was available on the trees or maybe elsewhere, so they did not have a requirement of storing it somewhere. But when we started manufacturing or farming, there was a need to store those things somewhere. So that resulted in the human beings creating pots out of earth, earthenware pots in order to store those things. And then there was a necessity to cook the food also. So then the humans I won't say invented, discovered fire. They discovered how to create fire, how to make fire, and then cook the food. So this was the scenario before the industry one. And what was the objective? The objective was survival. The survival, and in order to survive, uh, as they say, necessity is the mother of inventions. So this is when the whole invention process started. Okay. Uh, so coming back to Internet of Things, after the invention of computers followed by internet and mobile phones, IoT is the next big thing which is going to be poised to change the way we live. So how it is going to change the way you live, I am going to tell in the next few slides. As you know, we did college graduation, we did not have internet, we did not have mobile phones. So we had to depend on letters, postal letters, or just the landline phone. And how the things have changed, especially during lockdown, how the mobile phones and the food delivery and online shopping, how it has changed your lives. So now the next big thing is going to be Internet of Things that will change the way you live. So let's take a walk down the memory lane and remember the heroes who made internet and hence IoT and consequently Industry 4 possible. The only tools they had was paper and pencil. Today, people, they need a laptop, they need a mobile phone, they need internet, and all kind of things, air conditioner, maybe I would add all those things. But the people who made this happen, but who have bought us here, for them the only tool was a paper and pencil. So you have to remember this. So internet is made mainly of computers, data communication network, and software. So we will just briefly go through that what, how were the computers evolved, how did data communication networks evolve, and how did the software evolve, and all these three things together made up the internet, and the internet is the one which made the Internet of Things. So if you don't know the first, I think if everybody knows that the first wireless telephone conversation was in 1880 when Alexander Graham Bell, they conducted a conversation on modulated light beams. Okay, so they did not use radio frequency; they used a light beam in order to modulate their voice, and this was the first ever incident of wireless communication, which is going to be the main precursor of IoT. Then Marconi transmitted the first radio signal across the Atlantic. So just to list the heroes of the modern times which have made IoT happen is Michael Faraday. He demonstrated electromagnetism. James Clerk Maxwell, he predicted that there were the theory of electromagnetic waves. Then Heinrich Hertz, our own Jagdish Chandra Bose. He is the unsung hero of radio communication. So he is the one who developed early virus detection devices and helped increase knowledge of millimeter waves, which today are being used in all kind of high tech areas. So these were the Western scientists, but I don't want you to forget what our own ancestors did and what kind of knowledge and technology our own ancestors had. So it is important that you also go through we also go through and celebrate our ancestors who did fantastic inventions during their time. And those inventions somehow, because of the so many the invaders and the British colonial rule, this history has been unfortunately wiped out of our textbooks. So I will just refresh it. We were taught that the Pythagoras theorem, which is the hypotenuse theorem, was discovered by Pythagoras. But remember that Baudhayana knew it 1700 BCE. The founding fathers of trigonometry are Aryabhat, Varahamir, and Bhaskar. They developed trigonometric identities, all the sine, cos formulas, the trigonometric, plus all the calculus. They all had discovered it long back, even before the British came to India. But the unfortunate thing that they worked in a observatory of Avanti, but invaders brutally destroyed Avanti in the 12th century. So, and all these years we have been taught that geometry has been, discovered by Euclid. So, just to give you examples of how advanced was Indian technology, right from fashion, you can see in the stone carvings here, the ladies are using fashion accessories. They are using eyelashes, all these things. Then the other thing is that there are uh, uh, carvings on the temples. You can see here the carving which shows a fetus inside the womb of a woman, which is very similar to what you see in an ultrasound image. So 800 years back, in the temple built by Raja Chola, at least 800 years back, this exact womb, and I have just shown one sample, but they have even shown the whole process of fertilization, how the sperm and the egg they meet. The entire inscriptions are there on the temple. So this wisdom was known to us around 800 years back. Just remember, the pi was discovered by our great Aryabhat, at least you know how many years back, and he accurately predicted the value of pi to 4 decimal digits. There are books like Surya Siddhanta, in which the entire cosmology is described. They have accurate, depictions of distance of Earth to Sun, Sun to Moon, Moon to the entire solar system, the speed of rotation of the every planet. Everything is described in detailed in this book called Surya Siddhanta, which is at least people say between 5 to 10,000 years old. So another quick examples I will give you in the Halebidu temple. You can see a person watching, looking at the sky through telescope. So, and we were told that the telescope was discovered by Galileo, right? He was the one who discovered telescope, which is 300 years back. But these temple inscriptions are at least 2000 years back. So we knew the use of telescope at that time. There is a Agastya Samhita in which a battery cell, how to generate electricity using chemicals is described. So please don't underestimate our own heroes who had made fantastic technological advances several years, 1,000 years before the Britishers came to India. Okay, now coming back to the computer line as we understand today, because in order to understand IoT, we have to understand I, that is internet, and we have to understand things. And internet won't happen unless you have computer software and communication. So who is the one who invented the computer? So you can see the journey of automated computing right from the abacus, which was around 1100 BC, till the slide rule, and the Babbage computer using Boolean logic, followed by the electric tabulator, and then the transistor, that is a semiconductor, was discovered by Shockley in 1947, and that gave us the digital computer, the Apple MacBook, as you can see, and that all these things led to the World Wide Web in 1990s. So we'll talk about computers in India. So when was the first computer in India made? It was made in organization called Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in 1956. It was based using vacuum tubes, and The computer was into production by the Electronics Corporation of India Limited. The computer was TDC 312. I am just telling you this because I am fortunate to have worked on these two computers, the first computers in India. Then when did internet come to India? Internet was first connected to India was first connected to internet in 1986 in form of ERNET. Okay, it was called ERNET in India, Educational and Research Network. And internet was offered to the general public by Videsh Sanchar Nigam, which is us today. It is called Tata Communications in 1995, and they offered dial-up internet connections at only 9.6 kilobits per second. Just read again, it is 9.6 kilobits per second, whereas today you get internet at around 10 Mbps. So just browse through the history of internet. The internet first started in 1960s. That time it was called ARPANET or DARPANET. ARPANET is Advanced Research and Production Network, and it was used by the U.S. Department of Defense. U.S. Army used it, and it was also called DARPANET because it was called Defense ARPANET. So remember one thing, that internet has come to you because of a defense research. And many people, many times people say that why do people spend so much time, so much research on defense or space research? But just this is one example that how the defense research has benefited the mankind, because of defense research you got the internet. So this is what you have to remember. Because of defense and space research, you have got the microwave oven. So it is not only that people are creating weapons, but the research in the process gives some products which are useful for us in daily life also. And as you know, the internet today is our lifeline. So we have to thank the defense research that they gave us this lifeline. So how it evolved is on the internet. 1970, the first thing we started was the email. Then we had dial-up modems, as I mentioned you some time back. The World Wide Web, WWW, it was first implemented on the internet. So internet is the actual physical layer, the connectivity, but WWW is the service, the HTTP as they call it. That was first, by a gentleman called Tim Berners-Lee in 1990. Social media came up in the year 2000. So like Facebook or Twitter and all these social media. And in 2010, we had the mobile internet. And in 2020s, we have the internet as you are using it every day. So this is the short, history of internet. So this is the gentleman, Tim Berners-Lee, 1989. So whenever you are browsing, you have to thank this gentleman, that because of him that you are able to do this browsing and all other services on the internet. Just out of interest, I'm telling you, there is a pseudoscience. It's not yet proven, but there is a Akshik record. I think you can Google it and find out that is supposed to be a universal nature's own internet. It is believed that everything which happens on the earth, it gets recorded on these Akshik records, and if you have the right password to it, then you are able to connect to it and get information about all events which are going to happen in the future, present or past. Let me tell you, this is a pseudoscience, and it is still not proven, but anybody who has interests, he can Google Akshik records and find a lot of information on that. So I will tell you how were the early computers. That is the time when I was a student. The CPU looked like this on the right side. It looked like a Godrej cupboard in which you store clothes. It was as big as that. And the hard disk, just see, it is a 500 MB hard disk. Today you have hard disks which are probably 1 terabyte and maybe more than that. So it was as big as a washing machine. Just imagine a hard disk which is 500 MB was as big as a washing machine. And this is how a computer system looked like in 1980s. This is the computer system which I have worked on. So this is the printer, the Mac tape, the CPU, the main memory, and hard disks. Just see 4 hard disks, just 10 MB each. And the sea, they are size of almost a hard, washing machine. So just to give a simple example, the total shipping weight was around 4,000 kilograms, and it required almost a one bedroom hall kitchen type of flat, and it costs around 2 crores and consumed 2 kilowatts of electricity, which is equivalent to one big room air conditioner. So this is an early example of IoT which I worked on, in which there was no internet, but uh, just to give an example, how computers to computers talk to each other, and they exchange information without the intervention of a human being. So there was no internet, but we had our own proprietary communication networks on which we implemented this. So this is the project on which I worked. So I am just showing you this one slide out of. So how it goes is that there is a Doppler effect radar, and radar detects that there is a suspicious aircraft, and that gives signal to the computer network, and the the computer network in turn takes a decision and initiates a intercept aircraft to go and shoot down this enemy aircraft as early as possible. So this was implemented by us in 1980s. And now today you have the mobile phone. So this mobile phone, the size, if you compare with that computer, instead of 2 crores, it is costing 10,000 rupees. And instead of 2 kilowatts, it is consuming just around a few milliwatts. And the CPU, it is 2 gigahertz compared to what I mentioned, 8 megahertz. And it understands voice and gestures. The data communication speed is around 100 Mbps on mobile and 300 Mbps on Wi-Fi, in comparison to 50 bits per second. Just imagine bits per second, 50 during my time. And today it is 100 megabits per second, just by this one small device which fits into your pocket. Okay. So now you know that if the computers were as big as a Godrej cupboard and the hard disk was as big as a washing machine, you could never have had Internet of Things. Because for happening, the Internet of Things to happen, the things must have a computer inbuilt. Tell me, if you want to have a refrigerator which is a IoT, how can you fit a computer which is as big as a Godrej cupboard? So now you understand why I had to walk through this all these discoveries, that computers had to be made small, and they had to be made as small as this small PCB we are seeing, and that could be installed in a refrigerator, in a vacuum cleaner, in a uh, cooler, in a microwave oven, or the refrigerator. In everything you have now this computer. So for IoT to happen, the things need to be intelligent. The IoT means Internet of Things. So thing is this, either refrigerator or maybe washing machine or vacuum cleaner or microwave. That is the thing, that in order to make it low power, high speed and low cost, if you had a computer 2 crores ka, how could you have put it inside your washing machine which is costing just 10,000? So it had to become cheap, and it had to become compact. So that is happened, and that is why we are able to have Internet of Things. So smart appliances, I will just give you one small example. In smart appliances, you have a weighing scale in which you stand, and that is connected to the internet, and then that internet is also connected to your refrigerator. So every day you take your weight, and then the internet records your weight, and that data gets communicated to your refrigerator. And if your weight has increased beyond a certain limit, then the internet takes a decision not to open the refrigerator door. So he will put forcibly on, diet. So this is what is Internet of Things, which can happen to you. Maybe uh, it's just a trivia which I wanted to talk about. So what are the security issues and what can go wrong in Internet of Things? So there is a risk of data theft, there is a risk of hacking, there is a risk of virus, there is a legal issues, then internet outage. So how can this affect? So I will just give you some scenarios of Internet of Things, and then we will talk about how this, security issues and how things can go wrong in that. So IoT at home. So what is at home? You have a smartphone, and which is connected through wireless into your router at home, and it also connected to the mobile tower through mobile network. And then you have a microphone like the Alexa or the Siri listening device, Amazon kind of thing. They are all connected to the internet. This is all in your house, and this is connected all the TV, refrigerator, fan, everything is connected. So you can be sitting anywhere in the your any part of the world, and you can control your lamp, fan, TV, refrigerator, set the temperatures of air cooler, or start the washing machine at a particular time, all through your mobile phone and through the internet network. Or you can use this Alexa, the microphone, and through the microphone you can give instructions. Hey, stop the fan. Hey, start the TV. Go to channel number 23, whatever. Even you can do shopping using this Alexa. So this is the example of IoT at home. So once again, how did I tell you that there are things talking to things? We are not, the human being is not talking to the equipment. It is the mobile phone which is talking to the equipment. So that is what is Internet of Things. Another example of IoT on the road is a driverless car. So through the internet, there is no driver at all. It is the internet. In that there are instructions. That is giving instructions to the car. The car has got radar sensors. It's got a camera. It's got maps. It drives on its own, and it is guided by the internet. So this is a IoT example on the road. Then IoT example in the healthcare. In the hospital, there are all devices. The doctor also has a iPad or some such thing, and then the patient is equipped with the BP monitor, then your electrocardiogram or all these kind of things, and there are sensors, and the sensors will do read the parameters, and then it will go to the internet, and depending upon the whatever is the change in the basic parameters, automatically the release of oxygen will be increased, or there will be a signal given to the doctor that this BP is increasing or whatever. Without any human intervention, the whole system will go on. Uh, this is one slide which I just wanted to show you, because this is one product which my company makes, again based on Internet of Things, and this just ensures that the correct blood group, blood goes to the correct recipient, because there have been cases that the blood, coming from the blood bank, by mistake it has been given to a patient which is not matching with him, and because of that there have been fatal outcomes. So we have developed one equipment which makes sure, using IoT, that the right blood group is delivered to the right person. Then there is IoT in the industry. The tools, the machines, sensors, they are all interconnected. And depending upon, if the temperature rises, then automatically the cooling fan will start. If the temperature increases, then, if the temperature decreases, then the heaters will start automatically. There is no intervention of human beings. The human beings only have a dashboard on their mobile phone or their desktop, and with that they get a view of what is happening in the factory. There is nobody has to touch anything. Everything happens automatically. So same thing in agriculture. There is IoT in agriculture, which results in increased production, water conservation, real-time data, lowered operation costs. How does this happen? For example, the water conservation, there are sensors in the soil which measure the humidity of the soil, and then only when the humidity goes low or uh, crosses a particular limit, then only there is a irrigation water started. So this will result in a lot of saving of water. Then we have shown here a drone. Using a drone, then the drone will go fly over the agricultural field, and find out, whatever is the surface temperature or maybe the pH values. And then depending upon what it has found, automatically pumps will be started or the insecticide will be sprayed. So all this happens automatically. There is a machine talking to a machine, not a human being. So, as I mentioned, what are the safety issues? What can go wrong in a IoT? So, commercially, uh, since there are machines talking to machines, as I told you, if your home is being automated, there are from your mobile phone, whatever instructions are going to turn on the equipment, turn off the equipment, that all is going through your internet service provider. So there is a possibility that he will capture that data and sell it for commercial considerations. What does it mean is, if somebody sells your data, that what time do you put on the TV, what time do you put on the washing machine, what time do you brush your teeth, your whole kundali of your work is being captured. So somebody could sell this data and use it for some ulterior purpose. This you have to remember. So this is one risk. The safety is that a data thief may snoop and get to know your behavioral pattern, like such as when you come home, what time do you take bath, when do you put on AC, washing machine, and he can use it to plan a criminal activity. So he knows that what time you are going in the bathroom. Once you are in the bathroom, then it is easy for him to break the house, because from the bathroom you cannot quickly come out. You see, so this is a very dangerous thing. Legal issues are, in a self-drive car, there is a risk of an accident due to failure of sensors or software malfunction, internet outage. But because there is no driver, there will be a serious legal issue. There is an accident in a car, then it is the driver who is punished. Okay, because he is supposed to be responsible for the accident. Just imagine, in a driverless car, who is going to be caught if there is some accident? Will it be the car manufacturer, or will it be the internet provider, or will it be the one who is providing the navigation maps? Who is the responsible person? So IoT gives rise to legal issues. In healthcare, there could be a malicious hacking of the system, due to which incorrect blood pressure readings may be recorded, thereby causing serious complication or death of a patient. Okay. Similarly, industrial malicious code injected in the industrial IoT could cause disasters, like machine, if it has to be boiling, temperature has to be set at 95 degrees, somebody sets it at 202 by hacking, then the boiler will keep on putting on, the heater will keep on increasing the heat till the boiler will burst, and it can cause disasters. So electricity and other utility bills could be manipulated. You could get maybe a meter reading, instead of having a meter reading of 300 units, you may get billed for 5,000 units, just because somebody manipulated the IoT. So although there are many risks, issues associated with this technology, IoT also offers significant benefits, which are explained in the next slide. So just go through this. Safety, people are exposed to less hazardous environment. As I told you, in a factory where it is noisy and it can have pollutants, human beings don't have to go there. It is only the machines are taking care of the machines. So safety of people is ensured. In the society, how will IoT help? It is helpful in monitoring of health and social care. Okay, one very good example is the way in which during the COVID, how the government managed the administration of the vaccine using IoT. When you could on your own fix appointments, and there was a QR code generated, and that QR code could be used as a proof for travel that you are vaccinated. So all these are examples of IoT. Then environment, you could control the pollution levels, air quality, flooding alerts. Then IoT can give rise to innovation, new product services, opportunities for new markets. Compliance, this is a very important. New and more effective ways of monitoring and reporting compliance. So what is this? I can just tell you in brief that it will ensure that the car is generating the allowed amount of pollutants, that is the emissions, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, and carbon monoxide. The cars, and if there are sensors fitted and they are being monitored, the output of the pollutants, then it will make sure that compliance of the whatever is the specified standards are rigorously met. Profitability can be increased by saving costs and increasing productivity, and identify and eliminate process errors, efficiency, use of time, speeds of processes. So these are all the benefits of IoT. So what next now? What do you think will come next after all this? So the way things, these are some of the things which change the way we live. That is telephones, that is during my college days. After that came computers, then the internet, then the mobile phones, 2G, 3G, and now even 5G. Then came IoT, which is the current time. What is the next game changer, do you think, in the which would lead to Industry 5? Anybody can answer this? That what is the next thing, next big thing? So fasten your seat belts. It is called AIoT. So it is not IoT, but it is AIoT, which is artificial intelligence of things. So it is the combination of artificial intelligence technology with the Internet of Things infrastructure to achieve more efficient IoT operations, improve human-machine interactions, and enhance data management analytics. So this is AIoT, and I can give you an example of AIoT, but this I won't go too much into detail because AI itself will take a whole new lecture. I can't include it in such a short presentation. So an example of AIoT is a delivery robot. Delivery robot will be, uh, on the shop floor. The robot comes from the warehouse. It picks up items and gives it on the production line. So the robot will be intelligent enough to find out what is the temperature, what is the relative humidity, and what is the light content, and depending upon so many things, he will take intelligent decisions of how many raw material to take, or uh, at what speed he should go. All these things an intelligent robot will be doing. So here we have shown you an example of what is artificial intelligence of things. So to summarize, uh, I want to give one small example. We have been using so many tools and we keep on complaining कि ये ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं है, my computer, the internet is slow, or we say नहीं, my hard disk crashed, or we say no, my memory is going down, or we say कि my computer is corrupted, and we are too dependent on the material things. But I want to just tell you that the great scientists, including the great Albert Einstein and the heroes of our own in ancient Indian civilization, the only tools they used were paper and pencil. And using those paper and pencil, they made fantastic discoveries and inventions. So don't be too dependent on the machines today. Your brain itself is capable of many things which, using only paper and pencil, only what has happened is we have stopped using our brain and we are too dependent on the devices. So don't do that. So did you know that the only tool used for designing of Apollo 11 moon mission in 1969? In 1969, there was a person sent to the moon, Neil Armstrong. He landed on the moon and he came back from the moon. The only tool which they used in order to do all the calculation was a slide rule. There was no computer at that time. So just remember, winners look for solutions and losers look for problems. So I want you to be winners looking for solutions and not losers who will just find some blame game and try to put blame on something. With this, I end my presentation and thank you for giving this time. And if you have any questions, uh, go ahead and ask. Yes.
Thank, thank you, sir. Beautifully explained. Basically, I am also amazed to know about our Indian that scientifically
Yes.
so much advanced at that time,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so that is the thing. Yes,
Yeah.
IoT is making our life easier, but
Yes.
at the same time, yeah, we are being more dependent on machine these
Yes,
days.
yes, yes. And
Yes,
we try to put the blame that because my machine was not working, that is why I could not do those things. We keep on complaining that nay, my laptop crashed. Somebody says nay, nay, the power failed, or they say my hard disk or the internet was slow, and we avoid delivering the whatever is the requirement. But as I told you, the biggest discoveries and inventions have been made by scientists using just paper and pencil. They
mm,
did not use computers. So uh, don't try to be too dependent on computers. Your brain has got so much capacity; it can do wonderful things. And try to use the brain. What has happened is during our childhood, we used to have the multiplication tables. Two ones are two, two twos are four, two threes. But today, if you say simple, if somebody has to give 12 into 15, they have to use the calculator. Okay, so we have become so
yes,
dependent and so slaves to technology. So I think that has to change. We should start using our brain for some very basic things. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Anybody from the audience, any query or anything, any feedback?
Feedback. Yeah. They can put it on the text also.
Yes,
I think.
you can write in
Yeah.
chat.
Yes. And uh, anyway, I think we had a very small audience today. What are the reason? I don't know. But hopefully we will have some subsequently better audiences. Uh,
Yes, we are planning to
yeah.
have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. V. N. Rao. Yes, please.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Rao. Unmute him. I think you have to
Can you share
unmute
the
him.
slides?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Rao.
Yeah, can you share the slides? Somehow they're good.
Uh, yeah, Dr. Shanoli, can we share the slides? You have to tell.
Actually, we will upload the session, entire session on our YouTube channel. So anybody who wants to re visit, then they can watch on YouTube.
Send the link. Send the link so that we can operate.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. In our group, we will share the link. All our free webinars, till now, whatever has been conducted,
Good evening, sir.
all has been uploaded on YouTube.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Who is this?
Good
Mr.
evening, sir.
Khan. Yeah.
This is Khaled.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
means
Go ahead, Mr.
basically
Khan.
being in a Z means generation, we can say that अभी के जो बच्चे हैं they are not totally out for a mobile phone. Means अगर उनको शांत कराना है तो mother is just giving a mobile and so that is
Yes.
one
Yes.
scenario. It's
Hmm.
we can't say that it's a okay development तो होगा ही और होना ही है. We can't stop the development. So how the
Absolutely.
scenario you are looking from here means okay, my age I understand between 90s. I am seeing the scenario development part and undeveloped part. So being in the middle of the situation, how to get in that?
Didn't catch your exact question. You are saying that development is taking place, so we have to become slave to development. Is that what you are
Means
saying?
हाँ
And
कैसे means how to get say means getting to master it or कैसे बचे.
ऐसे बचे उससे from the becoming the slave, ऐसे पूछ रहे हैं आप? नहीं समझा नहीं एग्जैक्टली,
Yes
यही
sir.
पूछ रहे हैं आप कि कैसे ये स्लेव होने से बचे आप, यही पूछ रहे हैं?
हाँ means how to
हाँ,
get a proper aspect.
यस यस। तो क्या है अभी आई थिंक थोड़ा अवेयरनेस आने लगा है लोगों में। पहले तो लोगों को ये जैसे बोला अपने बच्चों को एक आईपैड या आईफोन दे देते थे और बोलते थे कि अभी तुम अपना टाइम पास करो। और बट नाउ देयर इज ए कॉन्शियस इवन इन द आईफोन, आई मीन इन द मोबाइल फोन there is a display which comes saying ki, how much screen time have you used today. Okay, it says ki you have used 2 hours of screen today. Then it will give you a daily average कि कितना आप स्क्रीन टाइम यूज कर रहे हो। तो एटलीस्ट आपको वो बता रहा है कि कितना आप स्लेव बन रहे हो उसको, ये तो बता रहा है। इसकी नेक्स्ट इसके जो हार्मफुल इफेक्ट्स है वो भी हमें अभी थोड़े थोड़े पता चलने लगे हैं कि कंप्यूटर पे आप बहुत टाइम अगर मतलब जो दूसरे इफेक्ट्स है आई कैन टेल यू, जो कंप्यूटर के ऊपर ऑलमोस्ट दिन भर और ऑनलाइन रहते हैं, देयर हैव बीन फाउंड टू हैव यू नो मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज हो जाते हैं उनको। ये बहुत सारी ऐसी तो उससे बचने के लिए अभी लोग अवेयर होने लगे हैं कि ये इससे कैसे बचे। तो जैसे ये प्रॉब्लम्स आने लगे हैं उसके धीरे धीरे सॉल्यूशंस भी आने लगेंगे मुझे लगता है, क्योंकि अब तक तो ये प्रॉब्लम है ऐसा पता ही नहीं था लोगों को, बट अभी शायद होने लगा है। बच्चे वो इंस्टाग्राम के ऊपर 8-8 6-6 घंटे रहते हैं वो, और वो पता नहीं क्या करते हैं। उसके हैजार्ड्स की तो और ही बात है दूसरी, तो वो तो और एक डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट ही बन जाएगा जो उससे उसकी वजह से कितने लोग फ्रॉड हो जाते हैं, कितनी लड़कियां फंस जाती है इसके अंदर, जिंदगियां बर्बाद हो जाती है। अभी आई डोंट नो ये आपने 2 दिन पहले न्यूज में पढ़ा कि नहीं, देयर इज सम वन लेडी फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान हु हैज इट सीम्स कम्स टू इंडिया, वो दोनों पबजी गेम के ऊपर मिले, ऐसे कुछ बता रहे हो। तो ये जो इफेक्ट्स है वो तो और लेवल के इफेक्ट्स है, जो टेक्नोलॉजी के जो इफेक्ट्स है। तो बट अभी धीरे धीरे इसकी अवेयरनेस आने लगी है और उसका कुछ तो हल निकालेगा। ऐसे फर्स्ट स्टेप इज अवेयरनेस। So I think good, Dr. Shanoli. Thank you for inviting me, and hope that next time we will have a better subject and little better audience. And once again, thank you for your invitation. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for being on our platform and explaining about a technical term, simply in simplified way, basically,
Yeah.
I can say.
Yeah. The
Yes.
idea was not to keep it too technical, just to give the history that how have we reached here. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
that ordinary people can also
Will
understand the
understand.
things.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll take your leave. Bye. Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.